Hamanat Netawan Alan Salazar, Pasekva Kachin. Hello, I'm Alan Salazar. I'm from the village of Pasekva, which we now call San Fernando, California. And I want to welcome you to the P22 Day Festival. I want to share with you some of my beliefs, tribal beliefs, and a traditional Chumash story that I think relate to the P22. I've realized over the years that California has been colonized 4 times. The first time after the ice melted, after the ice age, and the ice melted, and the land and the rivers and the mountains and the valleys were exposed, and the plants. The first colonization was by the animals, the insects, the birds, the mammals, the bears, the coyotes, the mountain lions, the fish. And it was a peaceful colonization. They lived in harmony. They were all necessary for each other to survive. The second colonization were by my people, the indigenous people of California, the many different tribes. And for the most part, it was a peaceful colonization. Although we hunted many animals, we respected those animals, and we never overhunted. We were always very selective and careful to make sure that all the animals had their share of the food, that all the animals had their share of acorns. The third colonization was by the Spanish and Mexican governments, and it was much more hostile and violent and oppressive. And it was the beginning of when other animals were introduced, livestock and other invasive plants. And because of the livestock, the Spanish and the Mexican ranchers and farmers started hunting and killing the large predators. And pretty soon, many of the mountain lions were gone, all the wolves were gone, all the grizzly bears were gone. And when America colonized California, it was even worse. The gold rush, the farming, the agriculture, the ranching, and the continued decimation and killing of the large predators continued to almost the point of extinction. And I believe that we need to go back to more tribal ways and try and live in harmony with all the animals, the small creatures, the winged creatures, the fish, the mammals, the bugs, the insects, the reptiles, all of them. And that is my hope and dream, that my grandson, my future generations, my great-grandkids, my great-great-grandkids that I will never see, that they will be able to go to the mountains and see wild animals, bears and wolves and mountain lions again, the way nature intended it to be. And when I got involved with this project and I was told about this wildlife corridor, this bridge that was going to be built for P22 for the mountain lions and all the animals, the deer, the small animals, the bugs, the insects, the reptiles, to have a safe way to get across the highway, the 101. It made me think of the Rainbow Bridge. That the Chumash tell a story that before there were the Chumash people, when there were just the plants and animals in the world, Hutash, the Mother Earth Spirit, created the Chumash people. And she took seeds from a special plant, and she cast those seeds over the island of Lamu, the island that we call Santa Cruz Island today. It's about 20 miles off our coast. And from that plant grew the Chumash people, men and women, boys and girls. And then they started families and villages all over the island of Lamu. And after 8, 9, 10, 20 generations, the families and villages grew. And pretty soon there was too many people for this small island. And Hutash loved the Chumash people, but she realized it was too crowded. So she went to the Chumash people and she told them, the island is too small for this many people. But across the ocean, there's the mainland, where there's more than enough room and plants and animals to provide food and shelter and medicine. So in 3 days, there will be a rainbow bridge that will go from the island to the mainland, to the big land over here. Many Chumash people believe that that rainbow bridge went from the island over to where modern day Carpinteria is today, because that's where we built many of our tumults, our canoes. And sure enough, in 3 days, when the Chumash people on Limu woke up, there was a giant rainbow bridge going from Limu over to the big land over here on the coast. The half of the Chumash people that had decided to stay said goodbye to the half of the Chumash people that were going to walk over the rainbow bridge. Hutash told them, don't look down, just walk over the bridge and you will be okay. And that's what most of them did. They walked over the rainbow bridge, crossed over the ocean, and came over to the land over here and started families and villages. But some of them, as they were walking on this rainbow bridge halfway between the island and the mainland, were curious, how can we walk on a bridge made from a rainbow? And they tried to check it out and look at it, and as they were looking at this rainbow bridge, the wind was swirling around, the coastal fog was coming in and out, and they got dizzy, and some of them fell off the rainbow bridge and fell down into the ocean and were sinking and drowning in the ocean. Hutash called out to the sun, Kakanumawa, who's the leader of the sky people. And she says, Kakanumawa, save the Chumash people that are drowning. They're good people, save them. And Kakanumawa saved those people. He turned their bodies and made them sleek and slender and strong and powerful. And he gave them the ability to hold their breath for a long time, because he turned those people that were drowning in the ocean into dolphins. And that's why even today, the dolphin is a very respected animal to the Chumash and many tribal people. And when I thought about that story, that bridge was a crossing from the island to the mainland for the Chumash people to get safely across a dangerous ocean. That's what the wildlife corridor is. That's what that wildlife bridge is. So please support P22. Donate to that wildlife corridor, that wildlife bridge for the animals so they can safely get across that dangerous highway. And then hopefully that will be the first of many bridges throughout all of the United States. And for every bridge that they build for cars to drive over, for every bridge that they build for people to walk across, safely across a highway, that we build one for our animal friends, because they are very important. We need them. The world is a better place when we have all the animals. So I want to thank you for listening to my story, and I encourage you once again, donate to this worthy cause. Go out into nature, walk. And when you walk out in nature, take a moment and just watch and listen. Listen for the birds. Look for the small creatures. Maybe you'll see a mountain lion or a coyote or a bear. Have a blessed day. Kiwanan.